Personal with Akbewe Idono, Blue Cakes Nigeria.
Hello, my name is Akbewe Idono of Blue Cakes Nigeria and welcome to Up Close and Personal. And today I'm going to be discussing a certain industry, cake industry. Yeah. So we're going to be discussing the different challenges that are posed to cake makers and how to tackle them. There are so many challenges, but today I'm just going to pick three main challenges that are coming up against us, especially for those who are entry level. One of the major challenges is, okay, how do I get recognition? How do I set my prices? How do I tackle with shelf life and all of that? So these are three main challenges I'm going to be discussing. Now the first one, recognition, especially I'm upcoming and I'm new. How do I gain recognition in my industry? How do I stand out where there are so many professionals in the field and are doing so well? One of the first things you need to do is to consistently upgrade and improve on your skill. Why is it important? Because once you continue to do that, it builds your confidence and you want to have that courage to take yourself out there to be seen. Because once you feel like, okay, I have something going for me, you really want to put yourself out there. And once you can take that step, the next thing you want to do is to make sure that, okay, out of all the skills you have in cake making, there is this one that you probably have a very strong one on, you have a strength in. I usually tell people that one, use it as your entry, as your entry method. You take it, that particular skill, and project it the more and have a niche for yourself with that. Let it be said that, oh wow, this brand does very great cakes, they do very great cupcakes. I mean, you do chocolate cakes that are just awesome. Let that be like your signature thing, your signature product, and then it grabs the attention of people. You can use that to grab the attention of people first, and then they begin to really now see all the other ways that you are great at what you do, and then begin to recognize you more. So now that you have improved your skill, you're improving your skill, you carve a niche for yourself, it is very, very important and crucial that you take great pictures of your product, because that is the way to appeal. Most people are moved by what they see. Visuals is very, very crucial. So you want to take great pictures. You mustn't have a professional photographer to do that, but if you can afford that, why not? Take great pictures and then take advantage of social media space. If you don't even have a photographer handy, you can use, invest in a great phone that has a high definition camera, have a ring light, invest in lights, and then you just have maybe a white backdrop that you can place a background where you can place your cakes and take great pictures. Use an app that can help you put your logo, and then you're good to go. Consistently put yourself out there, put your content out there, and the more people get to see you, the more you get to showcase that you have the ability to do great and you have the ability to do wonderful things in the industry. It doesn't stop there. The third thing you want to do along that line of gaining recognition is to consistently put yourself out there. You have to promote your products, your services, take advantage of the platforms that that you can afford to do as you're upcoming. You can create a budget and say, okay, I'll be spending this amount over this period of time, and then it can work for you. Aside Instagram and Facebook these days, one great platform to advertise on is WhatsApp TVs. Why? Because it has a high attention span, and then you can always try to take note of the kind of audience that WhatsApp TV influencer has, and use that to really fine tune how strategic you can be placing your ads. Then the second thing is pricing. One of the things that bother me about people who acquire the skill, they do not learn the business. It's one thing to have the skill, it's another thing to have the business sense. You have to take very, very close look at the books. You have to have a proper record keeping habits. It's not just having a proper record keeping habit, you have to be able to clearly see what expenses the business is making, what is your production cost, because that is what will help you narrow down what your cost is really. Because now if you go to the market with 20,000 naira for instance and you purchase some materials and then an order came for let's say a particular cake 6 inches and it's 10,000 naira. You didn't use all the materials you went to the market for on that particular cake. You use a specific quantity for that particular cake. Now that quantity actually narrows down to price. Let's say you use about 1 kg of butter, which is now about 1,200 or so. You use eggs, 15 eggs, that's about half crate, which is also about 1,000 naira. And then some other materials that you use, you have to be able to measure the exact costs, and then that is how you know what you have spent on that cake specifically that you're making. That is the production cost. You should be able to factor in your gas, you should be able to factor in, you know, packaging and all of that, and your workmanship. Your time should count for something. If a cake, okay, is about 10,000 naira, okay, what do you think you're going to place for yourself as a pay for your time? You know, you should be able to place that one, and then at the end of the day, and then you notice that your production cost in total is about, let's say, 7,000 naira. Then from there you can now say, oh, on this cake that I sold for 10,000 naira, my profit here is 3,000. Your 10,000 naira minus the income is your 10,000 naira minus the your production cost. That's how you know exactly what has gone into that particular cake, and you can know the profit margin. So that's what this pricing is about, because this is something I take so crucial. In the training school here, the Blue Cakes training school, we take our time to not only teach the skill, we also take students in bakery business and management. So it's very crucial to understand the numbers, know the numbers, because I always see that the numbers always lets you know the financial position of every company. You need to know whether you are even growing at all. So with pricing, you should also find out what are other people taking, what is the flat rate on these cakes. So even if you want to go below, make sure you're at least able to build the traffic over so that the turnover will make sense to you. If it's generally known that a particular cake goes for 6,000 and you're going for 5k or 4.5, then you have to have the kind of traffic that can assure you of good profits and good turnover, you understand, at the end of the day, so that you don't run at a loss. It's not a hobby, remember, it's a business. So the third thing that always bothers most cake makers who want to do supply, who want to go into commercial cakes. Commercial cakes are cakes that most people want to drop at different locations, supermarkets, some kind of places like that where there's high traffic of people. At least that is what it should be. Then shelf life is one thing that definitely comes in as a challenge when you begin to wonder that, oh, okay, how long will my cake stay? Is it going to last for 2 weeks? Is it going to last for 1 week? What I feel you should do is to build a demand first for the products. When you build a demand for the products, then you can equally, you must have done some promotions, done this cakes are going to be here, tell people and all that, tell people on your contact list. Build a demand for it first. When you get the locations, put the locations out and say, okay, our cakes are now here, our cupcakes can be found in this street, on this supermarket and all of that. People would already know that they are there. Then also take notice of the number of cakes that go out within a space of time, a duration of time. How many of them actually leave the shelf? By that time, you begin to also notice that, okay, this is the number I should put out there so that I won't have this challenge of cakes going stale at the shops. And once that is not a challenge, you will now start thinking of your cakes lasting for 2 weeks, because whether you like it or not, even if they don't degenerate so fast, the customer comes, they see the same thing here, they'll be able to recognize this thing has been here for long. So that freshness, that psychological effect of not wanting to buy it will be there, and so they wouldn't want to pick it. So you also have to study preservation methods, especially cakes that are used for commercial purposes and sold in all those places have a specific way that they are made. You understand? And there are specific recipes. Nobody sells red velvet for commercial cakes. It's mostly plain cakes and all of that. So study about preservation and how to keep the cake so that but the most important thing is to make sure that these cakes live there as fast as possible. That is where your focus should be. So focus on it living as fast as possible. So thank you. I hope that you did enjoy this session, and if you do have questions, please send in your questions, drop in your feedbacks and whatever responses you have. So until next time, this is Akpewere Idona, Blue Cakes Nigeria. See ya.
Coming to you every Monday. Stay tuned.